I'm going to talk about a porridge. How to make a rice porridge. It is called a congee or jus, and it is used for healing your gut. Also, in the case of recovery from illness or surgery, or if you are going through chemo, very poor appetite, can't keep food down, you feel nauseous, this is a healing recipe that you can try. I'm going to give you the most basic recipe, and it is something that you can vary. I mean, there are so many different varieties and ways to make a rice congee. You can also use different grains and depending on what you want to use it for. So the basic one is essentially like baby food. It is the easiest food to digest. So we are using a crock pot here. This is my Ninja. I don't even think they make this anymore. I'm not sure, because they probably have some other superhero kind of fancy dancy all-in-one kind of cookery pot. But I like a slow cooker. You can also cook it over this stove. And the slow cooker, I like this one because it has a lid and you can check your congee as it is cooking. So are you ready for the ingredients? All it is take a half a cup of white rice. I'm using jasmine. This is a long grain rice. Some recipes call for short grain, whatever. I like jasmine, and I always try to buy organic, non-GMO varieties. You can make more. You can use 1 cup, but you're going to have a lot of congee. So for this recipe, let's use a half a cup of the white rice. You will just pour that into your crock pot or your pot on the stove. Add a pinch of sea salt, that's optional, and 4 to 5 cups of water. Turn it on high and cook it about 2 to 2.5 hours. You might want to check it about a half an hour before you think it's going to be ready, because you don't want it to burn, you don't want it to get too thick, and you can vary the liquid. You can go ahead and add more water. You can increase the cooking time if you need to. So this is cooked about 2.5 hours, and the consistency is that all of the rice should break down. I will go ahead and put some in a bowl for you so that you can see the consistency here. Let's just get that. So let's see if you can really see the consistency of this, where the rice kernels, everything is broken down. It really is like mush. It is porridge, like oatmeal. And this is just plain. So if you want to add flavors, there are different recipes where you can cook the flavors right in the pot. I have found that it actually tastes better to flavor your individual bowl. And now if you are making this for somebody, or you're making it for yourself and you have a hard time keeping food down, or you're going through chemo, or you've just had surgery, it needs to be something that you find palatable. And I mean the right consistency, whether you like it thinner or thicker, and also the flavor. Sometimes you might need it just nothing, no flavor at all, the most bland. If you want a little flavor, one trick I found is to actually use a cinnamon bark essential oil. Make sure if you're using an essential oil that it is food grade, that you can take it internally, and it will have a supplemental facts on the label. And you can take a toothpick and just do that, small amount or maybe a drop, depends on your own amount of flavor, because this is quite spicy. I found that this tastes better than putting the cinnamon spice. It does give it really a nice cinnamon flavor. There are cinnamon sticks you can add to your congee. So a congee can be made savory using a broth, or onions, garlic, ginger, just different things. You can add shredded chicken if your stomach is up to it. If you're up to where you can now eat more whole foods, you can add the shredded chicken. either already cooked into your individual bowl, or it could be something that you make into your congee. You can add your leafy greens, again, to the whole congee, or just, it's really nice to just have an individual make it the way that they want to. Adding some berries, we can add a couple berries to this. Blueberries, some blackberries. I already added the cinnamon. And another trick is maple syrup, organic 100% maple syrup. There are natural enzymes in the syrup, so you do get the benefits of that. Just do a little drizzle or to taste. So this is kind of a sweeter breakfast type of congee, but it is one that is easy to keep down. And we can taste it. It's going to be quite hot. So I can taste the cinnamon, and it tastes really good. Another thing about the congee is perhaps your acupuncturist gave you some raw herbs and wants you to cook it in your congee. So these are what we mean raw herbs would be leaves and twigs and seeds and things that your instructions may be to either boil the herbs in water for an hour or so, extract that liquid, and you can extract that liquid and put it into your congee. And there's maybe different reasons for that depending on if the herbs are really bitter. And then this congee will really help you protect your stomach from the bitter cold herbs. Or maybe some recipes will call for you to add the raw herbs directly to the congee, and you would do that. There's also lots of different spices. A congee can be made detoxifying as well, like detoxifying and cleansing instead of building for, in this case, for more of a weak constitution. And typically you're only going to eat, a small amount at a time. If you have difficulty eating a rice congee, like you feel bloated or gassy, then you are probably more on the excess type of person, and you would do well to add certain spices that would help you absorb your food. Like maybe you have a hiatal hernia or an ulcer. Cardamom pods would be really awesome for that. Orange peel. Again, getting back to herbs, your acupuncturist may give you an herbal extract, and you can add these to your individual bowl. Like if they told you to have, a couple spoonfuls, 2 or 3 spoonfuls at a time, instead of adding it to your boiling water, you can add it to your congee or mix in your tea that you already made into your congee. This one here is called ginseng and cardamom combination, so it is great for indigestion and digestion in particular. We have a cinnamon tea here that you can add. This is for your immune system. It has cinnamon twig and baishao and other great herbs, like ginger. And this is the difference between making a healing dish or a healthy dish. This is more of a healing dish. So often somebody might say, well, I cook healthy because I'm adding turmeric to my dishes. Well, if you're using herbal extracts, these are 5-to-1, very concentrated, and so you can't get enough turmeric into your healthy dish for it to be on the therapeutic level. So this is where if you're wanting your herbs and spices to be used therapeutically, you're going to need to get a professional grade herbal extract from your acupuncturist that is a 5-to-1, because dosage does matter. And that is the same with food. So that is why we want to make a healing recipe. So you are going to hear things about making porridge, broths, soups, and teas, and even smoothies, like fruit and vegetable smoothies, because those are the ways that you can get enough of the food and extract enough of the nutrients from that food to make it available to you to really make a difference. So it is important to eat healthy dishes and to use herbs and spices and to eat more alkaline foods, because your more alkaline foods are going to be anti-inflammatory, and that is awesome. But when you have a particular problem and you need a more therapeutic dish, then we want to look for the congees the porridges, the soups, the broths, the teas, and the smoothies. Like and share this video so that we can help other people learn about. And acupuncture is a modality much like chiropractic, but we are known also for diagnosing patterns of disharmony in your body, and also holistic nutritional foods that we recommend, and herbs. So acupuncture medicine is one of the best things that is not a fad. It's not going away. It has been around for thousands of years.